It's if Russia invades the Ukraine, will China be next to go into Taiwan? And if so, what will we do?
Okay. Let me cover Russia first. I mean, to get everybody up to speed, I think everybody understands that the administration essentially asked non-essential State Department staff to leave and also to tell Americans not to go into Ukraine. That is a very poor announcement. It puts us in a very bad spot on the national stage. You know, my view on that is pretty simple. We have an embassy in Moscow, still there. We are not asking the members of our embassy or non-essential staff to leave Moscow. So if we're not doing it there, why are we doing it in Ukraine? That's number one. Number two, we have Americans that are in Russia. We've not asked them to leave. So why would we do that in the Ukraine? I think that, unfortunately, I think it's probably more than 50% that Putin does go into the Ukraine. One of the issues we're having, I know the president today tried to put a nice tone on it, basically saying that all the NATO allies are in agreement. They are not in agreement. One of the key things is that Germany gets their natural gas from Russia. That's what happened with Nord Stream 2 when the Biden administration authorized it, and that's something that the Trump administration has been blocking the entire time. So now you have a situation where Germany, who is a very large part of NATO, is waffling about what to do with actions towards Russia. The reason why this is important is because any country, even ours, the one thing that we simply cannot tolerate is losses in our energy apparatus, losses in our food apparatus, because if people can't eat or people can't heat their homes, you're going to have so many more problems than what some other countries do. So that's what puts Germany in a bad spot. Does it give the Jews go into Taiwan? I do believe so. There's a reason why the Chinese flew 39 planes over Taiwan a few days ago. They're beginning to flex their muscle because they clearly see that Russia has done that with Ukraine. And if we, and I say we, but if we and NATO, I mean, really, it's part of NATO, everybody knows that. So if we and NATO don't do something about Russia, then what's going to stop China from going into Taiwan? The Taiwan situation is a very different situation than Ukraine. Ukraine is of some strategic importance. Taiwan is of massive national, strategic, and economic importance. A lot of the semiconductor chips, you know, the things that power this stuff, and just about everything in the United States these days, comes out of Taiwan. So if China moves on Taiwan, my view is we will be forced to respond and defend Taiwan. How that goes, I couldn't tell you because I'm not sure what this president will do, because you can go back to the decisions in Afghanistan and pretty much made the claim that we should have defended our positions in Afghanistan when it was crystal clear to anybody reading intelligence that the Taliban were literally moving on through Afghanistan in violation of the agreement set in place by President Trump before he left office. I don't have good answers on this one. Do I think there will have to be a response if China decides to make a move on Taiwan? But what China is doing is they're watching very closely how this president responds to Russia. That's why this move of 8,500 troops going to countries that are not Ukraine, to me, is just politics. It doesn't really mean anything. The key thing is our NATO forces going to essentially stand in the gap to protect Ukraine, a country that has been trending towards the West and towards America for the last decade. Let me add one other point to this. I know it kind of comes up. And this is about, should America be engaged in Ukraine at all? I am not one who likes foreign engagements without a clear reason. There's a clear reason here. And it's very, very simple. If we allow the Russians to be emboldened, it's only going to embolden the Chinese more. We do not want to be in large-scale military actions with Russia or China. I don't think anybody really wants that. But if you essentially allow the bully to bully, you're going to be drawn into a broader conflict you may not want to be a part of. And so that's why what's happening in Ukraine is very, very important for how foreign policy is going to be looking, and geopolitics, frankly, for the next 2.5 years or so past this situation. Because the last part I'll say is, if you're Vladimir Putin, do you wait for a new United States president? I don't think so. So I think if you're going to do something, you do it now, because you sense and see weakness, frankly, like most Americans do.